Hi, everybody. This is Jacob Sidesi from WUFT News. I am joined today by Dr. Juan Gilbert of the University of Florida. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
So, Dr. Gilbert is, actually, I'm going to let you explain it. I think you can probably do a little bit of a better job than I can.
Well, I am currently the Banks Family Preeminent Endowed Professor here, where I also serve as the Department Chair for the Computer and Information Science and Engineering Department, or CISE Department.
Can you tell me a little bit about, of course, the big honor that you've just been given?
Yes, certainly. So I have the fortunate honor to be recognized by President Joe Biden with the National Medal of Technology and Innovation. It's the highest honor in the nation for technological achievement. And I was recognized for the work we do in making elections, specifically voting, more accessible, usable, and secure, and for increasing the diversity of the computing workforce.
Can you just tell me a little bit about what it was like being part of that ceremony? I mean, it's such a huge deal. I've been to the White House a couple of times, so I know a little bit about what it's like, but I want to hear about your experience.
In one word, amazing. It's hard to describe everything, but it was amazing to be there with the other honorees who've done just outstanding work, and to be recognized by the president, to be able to speak to the president, shake his hand, and I was able to bring my family and take pictures with the family. So it was quite a momentous moment that is, again, it's hard to put into words.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, this isn't the first time you've been honored with such a high honor. I mean, I believe in the picture behind you. Is that you with President Obama?
Yes, I received the Presidential Award for Excellence in Science, Mathematics, and Engineering Mentoring from President Obama. So, yes, I've been there before, but it's just every time it's almost like the first time, and it's amazing.
Yeah. So, what did it feel like, especially in this most recent occasion? What did it feel like, not just being there, but being a representative almost for the University of Florida and for this Gainesville community? I mean, it's not very often that someone from this small town gets such a high honor and gets so highly recognized. Did that hold any kind of significance for you?
Absolutely. Um, it's just one of these things to be recognized for the work. We've been doing this work for over 20 years, since the 2000 presidential election. We've been working to advance the state of the art in elections technology. And to be recognized by that is just, again, amazing. And to represent University of Florida, Gainesville community, it's, it's a huge honor to be able to say, look, we came from this place. This is who we are. We are Gators. We are representative of Gainesville, Alachua County. And so the work we do is on the grand stage and being recognized at the highest level in our country. It's a significant honor and, again, amazing.
So, what role has the university played in your life and in your career? Has it really worked to foster you in all your projects? Like, how has the university been there throughout all your work?
Well, to start with, the endowed chair that I hold from the Banks family, that plays a significant role in what we've been able to accomplish. The work we do is cutting edge. We created an open source, universally designed, meaning accessible voting system that was used in state, federal, and local elections. No one was willing to fund us initially. We used our endowed chair funds to start up exciting cutting edge research that, again, has led to successes in our country. So the university's been supportive and, obviously giving us space, the opportunity to do this research. And through this endowed chair from the Banks family, that donation has paid its dividends 10 times over, if not 100 times. It's been tremendous.
Yeah. So, what kind of draws you to this challenge of kind of improving our voting system. What's the draw there for you?
Well, being an American is the biggest one. Our democracy is essential to our identity, to our nation, to our foundation. And at the core of that is our ability to vote. Each individual has equal power to vote. And we want to make sure that representation isn't diminished in any kind of way for all citizens, independent of your ability or disability. We want that right to be there and equally for all people.
Yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, the system is all built upon transparency, and I know you've been striving for open source, and that's kind of the whole mission behind it. So can you tell us, let us in a little bit on how it works for those who don't understand, and what makes it special too?
Yes. So the original design was a touchscreen with basically a computer, a printer, and a headset with a microphone and like a joystick or a button switch. So people with disabilities could listen and vote, and people could use a touchscreen. So everyone could vote on the same machine. If you can't see, if you can't hear, if you can't read, if you don't have arms, you could vote on the same machine as anyone else. We've advanced it to our latest version, is a transparent voting machine. It essentially turns paper into like a touch screen, where it's glass and the paper's behind it, and you're able to touch the screen and it prints, and your printed options are there, and you have to confirm right there as if you're touching a paper. So we've actually studied this new technology here at the University of Florida and demonstrated that it is the most secure method of voting. That's the latest thing. You'll hear more about that in 24. But yes, it's been tremendous support, not only by doing studies here at UF and in the Gainesville community, being able to run our research. And we are impacting voting in the United States with our technology. If you look at the current ballot marking devices, the computers that are used for people with disabilities and in general voting, and like Georgia has statewide ballot marking. I think Pennsylvania and some other states are using these technologies. Many of them were modeled after our work. So we are changing voting in a more positive way through our research.
This all comes in the context of the election integrity concerns that we've been seeing in more recent years, and I just want to know how that makes you feel while you've been working on this for so long, and how you maybe hope to quell these concerns and also be fighting for diversity and innovation, while there's also so much concern underlying this entire institution of our democracy.
Well, you just gotta, first of all, deal with facts. We gotta present the facts. And that was one of the things we lobbied for, and we have, is a paper ballot. The ballot of record is the paper ballot, and you can go back and count them over and over, and we can get the results of the election. So we start with the facts, and we will continue to do that. I'm feeling confident in the integrity of our election system, and I feel confident in our ability to defend against attacks against it. So it looks pretty good. Although online and in social media you hear things, I always say go back to the facts. And the fact of the matter is, we have the paper ballot of record, whether it was hand marked or was created by a voter using a ballot marking device, where they could verify the results. We have a result which can be audited and counted.
Yeah, so of course you've been saying that you can audit the paper ballots, and there's always been kind of concern about voting machines not being open enough and easy enough to understand. So what's kind of the challenge of like an all digital voting system, and how does your system counter that?
Well, right now, given the current state of technology, there is no known way to secure a digital ballot, meaning an electronic ballot. If it's electronic, it can be manipulated, it can be deleted, it can be held hostage for ransom. There's so many issues with those. That's why we rely on a paper ballot.
Can you tell us about some of the other projects that you've worked on in the meantime? I mean, the voting system is, of course, the one that you were honored for, but you've done so much more work in your time, and it would be a disservice to not touch on all of that as well.
I would say probably the latest lab project that again goes back to the support from Gainesville and the University of Florida is the virtual traffic stop. You can go to your smartphone and go to the App Store and search for virtual traffic stop, and you'll see this little blue police car. That is our app. So, what is the virtual traffic stop? The virtual traffic stop is an app we created and designed for my lab. And what it does, it allows you the ability, or the goal of it is to reduce tensions, de escalate tensions that can occur in what we call a routine traffic stop, which is one where you pulled over for speeding or running a stop sign or something, not where you are a known criminal wanted, but for people that's in a routine stop. So, what does it do? You have this app, and here's a scenario: you get pulled over, and before the officer approaches the car, you can have a video conference with that officer and a third party of your choice. And that could be a parent or a friend or someone else could be in with you. And when you have this video conference between you and the officer, everything's recorded. And when the traffic stop is over, the video is processed and made immediately available to the officer and the driver automatically through the app. And so this technology allows for de-escalation. For the officer, we like to call it an icebreaker. So the officer can know who you are, what you're doing, where you're going, and de-escalate potential tensions. And University of Florida Police Department has this app. They have it. So people can go get it, and you get pulled over, you open it, and say start a virtual traffic stop, and they have it. Gainesville PD has agreed to use it. They haven't started yet, but they have access to. So yet again, the community is supportive, and we created a new technology to save lives and de-escalate potential tensions in traffic stops.
Yeah, so of course this all comes on the heels of, concerns of racial profiling at traffic stops. So it seems to me like diversity is really important to you with all of your inventions and your innovations. So how does it feel, and what are the challenges of, creating technology that deals not only with such an important problem, but one that's so uniquely human, I guess, something that you wouldn't think of technology being able to solve.
Well, that's our thing. My lab is called the Computing for Social Good Lab, and our goal is to design and implement and evaluate technologies that solve real world or applied problems. And we do that by integrating people with technology, policy, culture, and we do these things in the context that are relevant to those constituencies or stakeholders. And so we study these methods and how to design these things, and we identify problems, and we see if we can design something, and sometimes we're successful. So that's our goal. We're about making society better, moving things forward, and helping, not just looking at things and saying, this is a problem, it's broken. We look at it and say, oh, it's broken, but how about we fix it this way? Now let's test that with people and see what they think about it. So those are the strategies and methods we use, and we train for those. And that's our goal. It can be challenging at times, but we got to understand people, meaning the human condition, the environment, and we got to understand technology.
So what's your next challenge?
Oh, there's so many of them. Let's see. We have some new challenges coming. I won't say. I'll leave that open. Give me a few months. But we're working on some new challenges, And I think right now the big goal is to make sure virtual traffic stop, and people can go to virtualtrafficstop.com and take a look at it and get the app. We want to make that a success. And so we'll continue working in voting and stay tuned for future innovations.
All right, Dr. Gilbert, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jacob.